Kirby. That is the name you should know. Over the past 25 years, Kirby has sure made himself a household name for anyone who's played a video game. And can you really blame us? Look at his little fluffy cuteness, he's so adorable. Growing up, I had a fondness of Kirby. I used to rent both Kirby Superstar and Kirby 64 a bunch when I was a kid. But the first game I ever owned came to me during a magical Christmas day. Little man opened up his little box gift, and inside laid Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, which is the game we're going to be looking at today.
Hey, Matt, how could you, man? A Kirby video and you didn't even invite me? I mean, it's not like anyone else could ever do a Kirby video. I'm the only one who's allowed. It's Kirby month on my channel. What the heck, Matt? I thought we were friends. After all the time we've spent together, it's all going down the drain now. Hello?
Hey Corey, I've been working on a Nightmare in Dreamland review, and I mean, you are the Kirby guy, and it is Kirby month after all, so you want to collab?
Yeah, absolutely, Matt, I'd love to. Damn right, you better be calling me. I'm the Kirby guy. Ain't no one making a Kirby video around here unless they call me first.
Wait, what was that?
Nothing. Let's just talk about some Kirby.
Nightmare in Dreamland's story is simple to say the least. Much like every other Kirby game. Within the world of Dreamland, there lies a magical fountain known as the Fountain of Dreams.
This fountain is the source of all sleep and dreams for the citizens of Dreamland. However, one day everyone wakes up to find that they have had no dreams. It's told to us that King DDD was bathing in the Fountain of Dreams and stole the Star Rod, then split it into 7 pieces, giving 6 of those pieces to his underlings and keeping 1 for himself.
Kirby then embarks on an epic journey to, I kid you not, this is from the game, restore peaceful nap times to the residents of Dreamland. He is the hero we deserved, ladies and gentlemen. And that's about it. Like, seriously, there's nothing more to add. Let's go save nap time, folks.
Nightmare in Dreamland is exactly what you'd expect from a Kirby game. It's just a ton of fun. Every Kirby game always makes sure to utilize the use of bright colors to make the environments and characters stand out to the player. As most know, this game was originally on the NES as Kirby's Adventure, but this version trumps it in almost every direction, both graphically and gameplay-wise. Now, I wish there was more I could say about the graphics, but if I'm being honest, there isn't much to it. The game is simply cute.
We do, on the other hand, have a lot to talk about gameplay-wise. First things first is how you'll be going from level to level. Unlike any other Kirby game that would play like a traditional platformer, this Kirby game will have you walking around a little hub area and have you enter doors to start the level. This is an interesting idea, but sadly you can't pick any level that you want to. You will have to do them in order to unlock the next level by, beating the previous one. That's not all that lies in this hub area though. In this area you can also discover a mini-game door which can be played in order to gain some extra lives, an arena stage which has a mini-boss fight in order to gain its power-up, and you can get a maximum tomato which refills your health completely, a power-up door which will contain specific enemies that you can suck up to gain its abilities, and a warp room which just teleports you to other worlds a bit faster. And that's really about it.
Now, this is a Kirby game, which means you'll be running around stages, sucking up enemies, and then you'll finish said level by shooting yourself into the clouds. Pretty standard Kirby stuff.
Also, fun fact, did you know that when you suck up the same enemies and you leave the roulette wheel going, each enemy has a specific copy ability that it'll land on? For example, if you suck up 2 beam enemies and leave the roulette going, it will actually land on throw. Always. It'll never change.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
I'm also happy to say that Kirby controls smooth as butter. He feels like the right weight when running around and jumping. And the controls, while simplistic, as there's only really the D-pad and 2 action buttons, are very responsive and never let you down. At the end of every world, you'll have to encounter a boss, and sad to say, most of them are really easy. I mean, look at this. He's dead. But this won't come as a shock to most Kirby fans, since easy is a common trend throughout the Kirby series. But this is fine, because the most important thing is fun, and Nightmare in Dreamland is a great example of fun. Kirby has powered his way through 6 worlds of baddies and bosses. It's time to enter the final world and power through DDD's final trials, including one giant mini-boss gauntlet, which has one of the best songs in the game, by the way. Soon afterwards, you will encounter DDD himself, and his fight can be a tiny bit difficult or long, depending on what power you're using, but after defeating him, Kirby reclaims the Star Rod and goes to place it back into the fountain. DDD, for whatever reason, tries to stop him, but then Kirby smacks him good. Kirby sticks the rod into the fountain, and then, whoops, Kirby unleashes the spawn of nightmares. That's not good.
From here, the real battle begins against the Nightmare. The battle starts with this 2D side-scrolling shooter section, in which Kirby uses the Star Rod's power to shoot projectiles at the enemy. Better be careful though, as this little ball of darkness has some hidden tricks up his sleeve. After you defeat him, the Warp Star will appear, and Kirby rides it to the moon, where the real final boss battle begins. This fight again isn't too difficult depending on your skill level, as long as you stay on your toes and realize that he has one major weakness. Then, before you know it, the final boss is defeated and the game comes to an end.
Basically what happened was nightmares started flooding into the Mountain of Dreams, and DDD used the power of the Star Rod to halt the nightmares, but Kirby didn't realize this and assumed DDD was up to no good. Kirby made a whoops, we fought some nightmares, and blew a hole into the moon. No worries there. And yeah, that's actually kind of where this game ends. Dreams are saved and everyone can nap in peace once more. Happy endings indeed. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is a charming game, as well as a good one in our personal opinion. The controls are tight and responsive, and as a port of an NES game, I consider it much better than its original.
The game looks and sounds pretty, and honestly, for it being on the Game Boy Advance, that's saying a lot.
Even though it is a remake, I do feel it outshines its predecessor in every way, and if you're a Kirby fan and you haven't gotten the chance to check this game out, then I can't recommend it enough. And hey, speaking of can't recommending enough Kirby to you, I want to thank my good pal TheSkullKid for joining me on today's video.
Thanks for having me, Matt. This was a ton of fun, and it's always a pleasure to be featured on your channel. Plus, I mean, it was a Kirby video, and he's just so cute and pink and, like, I don't know, man. Just thanks for having me. Kirby Month on my channel. I don't know. I'm gonna go now, Matt. Thanks for having me. I love you. Bye.
And with all that said, my name is Miniman. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you stick around to the next one. But until then, all I can say right now is take care, ladies and gentlemen.